Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout, scheduled for 6 rounds in the super featherweight division. Introducing first from the blue corner, Juan Centeno.
Here comes 30-year-old Nicaraguan native, Juan Centeno. Got a record of 8 wins, 20 losses, 4 draws. But most of his 8 wins have come against undefeated guys.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I've covered him before on fights, and I'm going to reiterate it now. If you take his 20 losses and add up the records of those guys that have beaten him, 149-9. And some of his wins came against undefeated guys. This is what he does. He goes in and he tests your hometown tough guy, your up-and-comer, and that's what he does, and that's how he makes a living.
4-0-1 Fernando Bahima, 7-0 Luis Rivera, 8-0 Abel Aparicio.
And you know, Pittsburgh fans, we've seen him against Oleg Dogun. Actually, Andre Donovan defeated Centeno too. Andre with it, we just saw. Now it's worth note too that last night at the weigh-in, Centeno came in 4 pounds over, and one of the commissioners, Rick Staggerwald, said, "Son, you got to go for a run." And he did for possibly a couple hours, because I had my entire dinner and more while he was out running. And he came back, and I'm not sure he quite made it, but they worked it out, and we're going to fight.
Now, how can you tell that story? We're talking about a guy trying to lose weight, and you're talking about having a beautiful, nice, full dinner.
You don't have to make weight to be a
commentator.
Ladies and
gentlemen, out of the red corner, Danny Bodish.
26-year-old Pittsburgh native Danny Bodish got a record of 3-0 with 2 knockouts.
Bodish, of course, trained by Tom Yankello.
See the world championship trainer from this part of the world, as I like to say.
Of course, affiliated with Roy Jones Jr.'s Paul Spadafora, Ivan Deichko.
Trains a good-looking light heavyweight from Philly now by the name of Atif Overton.
And these guys are all over social media. You know, world-class boxing, Tom Yankello. They put out the instructional videos. Fans all around the world are familiar with Bodish because he is the fighter in these instructional videos.
He's the model.
Yes, he is.
Let's go up to our ring announcer. The quiet and almost lullaby sounds of Matt Antonucci.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout, scheduled for 6 rounds in the super featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a 33 professional fight veteran, standing 5'5" tall. He weighed in at 132 pounds. Fighting out of Managua, Nicaragua, presenting the Boogeyman, Juan Centeno. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he comes in undefeated, 3 wins, 0 losses, 2 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Standing 5'6" tall, he weighed in at 127.8 pounds. Fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Danny Bodish. When the action begins, your referee in charge is Matt Jones.
Protect yourselves at all times, obey my commands at all times. Belt looks good here, belt looks good there. Go ahead and touch him up, step back.
Got a record of 3-0, 2 knockouts. He's in the Pittsburgh-colored black. He's got some gold, but there's also some blue. I thought I saw some gold on the other side. Maybe I'm mistaken. So he's in the multicolored green and all kinds of colors. The blue colored trunks are worn by Juan Centeno, 8-20 with 4 draws. Just 1 knockout in 32 fights. He's been stopped 5 times, so he's pretty durable.
He stays up, and so does the opponent.
Tell us a little bit about Danny Bodish, Ronnie.
Very aggressive. And honestly, this might be a better fight for Centeno, a better matchup for him than some guys. You know, if you're the pure boxer that sits back and picks your spots and boxes him to death, he doesn't really do well. Oleg Dogun ate him up for 10 rounds that way.
Centeno just landed a couple rights to the side of the head, but Bodish comes down to a left to the head, excuse me, a left to the body. Now there's a right to the side of the head.
Bodish throws a lot, but he can be hit. So, you know, we'll see if Centeno can walk through that door a little bit.
When I see the aggressive style, I don't see a little bit of a resemblance to a fighter that I spent a lot of time with named Ruslan Provodnikov, Danny Bodish.
Interesting comparison. Yeah, Bodish is exciting to watch.
Former world champion, living in Siberia these days. Body shot from Bodish, uppercut on the inside from Bodish.
Something to look for with Bodish that I admire about him, and he's doing it right there. He'll use his forearms. He'll use his body to to gain an advantage, to dictate where he puts the other fighter. He's very effective at that.
Left to the body from Bodish. There's a left hook from Centeno. Of course, when you talk about Managua, Nicaragua, you gotta think back to the late, great Alexis Arguello, most recently El Chocolatito Roman Gonzalez. Some great fighters have come from Nicaragua. Left to the body from Bodish, another left upstairs. Bodish is a compactly built young man. There's an uppercut on the inside. Danny Bodish, nice step around left hook.
Great movement by Bodish.
Centeno gets out with a flurry. End of round 1.
Late punch by Centeno.
See Danny Bodish going to work on the inside here in round 1.
Something else great about Bodish. Works the body, works the head, goes back to the body. He's always changing those levels. Nice footwork by Bodish. He'll come in, you know, he'll switch up his angles nicely. You saw a little of that in the first round. You know, something worth noting on this fight, originally this was, Bodish was booked to face a guy named Jaden Webb out of Arkansas. Well, Jaden Webb, when he did his blood test, he sent in a tampered sample.
Ooh.
Now, what makes it worse is that Jaden Webb's father is the athletic commissioner for the state of Arkansas.
Interesting. Round 2 between Danny Bodish and Juan Centeno.
So this fight was made just about 9 days out, 9 days ago. Centeno got the call, and this is the kind of fighter he is. He gets those calls, and he takes them, and he says where, when, and how much.
Good left to the body from Bodish. Centeno trying to place a jab to the body, not much behind it. Now you can see the difference in power. Bodish's shots are having a lot more effect than Centeno's does.
Yeah, Centeno not known for his power at all. His success will come from, you know, throwing bunches of punches.
Which makes those wins that he had over the undefeated fighters we mentioned even more impressive. Usually when a guy upsets, you know, walks into an 8-0, 6-0, 5-0 type of guy, it's usually he rocks him, he hurts him, he knocks him down once or twice during the fight, he gets a decision.
Right, that's right.
Or even knocks him out. Obviously that hasn't been the case. Good left hook from Bodish. Centeno looking at the referee for some help. We ain't getting any help there. Good left hook again from Bodish and a right upstairs. Danny Bodish now starting to use his strength, pushes Centeno back with his forearm.
Yep, an example of what I was talking about earlier. He will do a lot of that.
Little uppercut from Centeno, but he eats a big right hand from Bodish. Danny Bodish again with a flurry to the head.
Bodish has had a lot of spar time with integrity fighter Oleg Dogun. And I think it's done him a lot of good. He gets good sparring everywhere because of Tom Yankello. You know, I'm sure he's exposing him, but I've been personally there when he sparred Oleg Dogun, and I know he's learned from him. There's no question about it.
There's a good right from Bodish. Centeno trying to flurry, misses with most of those. Bodish lands a flurry on the inside. Centeno trying to step around, eats another right hand for his troubles. End of round 2. Between Bodish and Centeno.
Things often get chippy when Centeno's in there. He's that kind of fighter.
That may have been his best flurry of the fight, that little push after the bell. You see some of the action of round 2, Ron.
Yeah. There was a decent left there by Centeno, but Bodish comes right back with a strong right. And there was the best flurry of the fight by Centeno. Threw a nice combination, got some scoring punches in. Bodish is one of those guys, he's willing to give up a shot to give you 3.
It's another, like I said, I was around Ruslan a lot. That was him.
Good for the spectators.
Absolutely.
Not so good for your health necessarily, but good for spectators.
You can see a little scratch around the left eye of Bodish as well. Bodish lands a good right, driving Centeno back. Good step around, lands the left hook. Bodish now lands a good uppercut. Good flurry from Danny Bodish. Like you said, I think a real action and fan-friendly fighter, Danny Bodish.
Referencing back to Andre Donovan, who we just saw, he and Bodish fought in amateurs at least once, possibly more, but I know that one of them is on YouTube, so any of you fans that want to go type in Bodish versus Donovan, it is an absolute firefight.
Yeah. Oh, a left hook from Centeno, but Bodish walks right through it. Again, this is a good fight for Bodish in the sense that fighting a guy who's not only, I mean, a veteran guy, but who's beaten some decent fighters.
And who is kind of a frustrating guy to fight,
yeah.
You know, so it's a good test. Let Bodish go through some adversity with this guy that's a little bit frustrated.
Bodish turns southpaw for a millisecond there, back to the orthodox style. He tries to dig to the body, good right upstairs and uppercut, left hook by Bodish.
Boy, he really digs down on those punches.
Another right to the body, misses with the right up top. Good straight right hand from Bodish. Uppercut and a right hand. And Centeno, well, he's always turning the referee. Good right again from Bodish. He's a veteran in there. He should know that the ref isn't going to help him.
Yeah, there's no answers coming from the ref.
Also, I don't know, does the referee speak Spanish?
That's right, because Juan Centeno, I don't think he speaks a word of English.
Body shots in the clinch from Centeno. Good left from Centeno. Fight breaking out. Centeno with his best flurry of the fight. Lands a right hand, but Bodish comes right back.
Great ending to round 3. Oh, and there is some definite animosity growing between these two.
No hostilities between Bodish and Centeno.
Let's take a look here. Bodish opening up. Nice uppercut. Here was Centeno opening up down the stretch of the round. Great exchanges. Bodish says, come on. This fight's heating up a little bit, Mark.
A little bit. Round 4, scheduled for 6.
There you see Tom Yankello. Him and Bodish have been together for years. Back in Bodish's amateur days and now as a professional. See if Centeno can continue what he started last round.
So left from Bodish. Good combination and flurry of the head, right from Bodish. Right to the body from Bodish. Centeno once again looks at the referee. I don't know, these are good legal body shots. I mean, they're well above the belt line, so I don't know what he's complaining about.
No, I don't either.
Good left hook from Bodish. Maybe complaining about the shots and the leather he's eating from Danny Bodish.
I think he's a frustrated fighter.
Bodish ducks under a right hand. Hard right hand from Bodish. Tell you what, Centeno showed a good chin here tonight.
Well, as we mentioned, in the 20 losses, only KO'd 5 times. So, generally does have a good chin, I'd say.
Uppercut from Bodish. Good right from distance again. You see the kind of half forearm get in there. It's funny that Centeno's complaining about all kinds of things, but not about the forearms.
Yeah, the one clear foul Bodish is committing. He's not saying anything
hard
about.
right from Bodish again. But here comes Centeno back with a right, and he tells Bodish about it. And he says, you can't hurt me.
Bodish needs to just maintain his game here. Don't react to that taunt.
And one thing about, we talked about that Centeno may not speak a lot of English, but he speaks boxing.
That's right. Well, you can read body language on an international level, no doubt.
Absolutely. Centeno, who's the veteran here, he may not be ahead on the scoreboard, the scorecards here. He's liking this, though. Bodish is the perfect guy for him if he likes to slug it out.
Well, that's what I had said about this matchup. You know, I think this is the kind of matchup Centeno enjoys. He doesn't want to be in there against a guy who's just going to jab, keep him away, and be a master pugilist all night.
A guy he has to find. You don't have to find Bodish.
No, he's always knocking on the door.
Some of the action, a lot of action in round 4.
There you see Bodish with a strong right to the mug. Oh, and there was another one left. But Centeno answered, and then Centeno said, yeah, I got you. Yeah, you know, the first few rounds of this fight, Centeno just looked like a guy that wasn't fully interested. He got hit enough, and now he is fully engaged in this fight. This should be a real exciting last 2 rounds.
Round 5, scheduled for 6. Danny Bodish, Juan Centeno locked in an entertaining scrap here at the Hollywood Casino at the Meadows. Right over the top from Bodish.
These are the kind of fights Integrity Pro Boxing looks to bring you.
But right in the corner again from Bodish. Bodish misses with that right. Hard left gets through. Bodish trying to duck under now. Right to the top of the head. Centeno says no, which usually means yes. Yes, it hurt.
It always does. Yes. Good shot by Centeno.
Yep. Body shot from Centeno. Bodish comes back with 3 of his own.
That's something about Bodish. It's always multiple punches. Very rarely does he just throw a singular punch.
Maybe some fights we saw tonight, guys are throwing 1 punch at a time, and this is one where we're seeing nothing but combinations. Good straight right hand gets through. Combination again from Bodish. I would love to know what this conversation is that Centeno's having.
Centeno almost got hit while he was talking to the referee, which...
You figure he wouldn't be making these rookie mistakes.
No, not after 32 fights.
Under a minute to go in round 5. Danny Bodish and Juan Centeno. Good chopping right lands for Bodish. Good straight right, followed by 3 more shots that every one of them got through.
Beautiful combination there by Bodish.
Centeno trying to land a little body assault there, but Bodish comes back with a flurry. Oh, right from Centeno. End of round 5, scheduled for 6 as they go nose to nose. In fact, Centeno went out of his way to do that.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Centeno is a guy that's not above, you know, some questionable stuff in the ring. And if he thinks he's going to intimidate young Danny Bodish, I think he's mistaken. Boy, nice right there as we look at last round's action. Good answer by Centeno, and then he does some talking, and here we are at the end of the round. He comes in and a little bit of a headbutt. Clearly trying to intimidate the young 26-year-old.
Sixth and final round, Danny Bodish. He's in the multicolored trunks. Juan Centeno in the bluish trunks. Mark Abrams, Ron Wikowski here at the Hollywood Casino at the Meadows, and it's been an entertaining scrap, Ron.
Yeah, this has been a real entertaining scrap, especially from, I'd say, round 3 on. We've had some really good back and forth action. Bodish probably winning the rounds, but good ebb and flow.
Entertainingly competitive.
Absolutely.
This could be one of those, you know, Bodish wins this round. Could be one of these 60-54 fights that not really a 6-0 kind of fight. It is, but it isn't, you know what I mean?
Right. The nature of boxing scoring.
Yes.
You know, you could have 10 very close rounds, and when you look at the scorecard, it's a blowout.
Yep. Little flurry on the inside from Bodish again. Good left to the body and a right upstairs. Bodish's fans want him to score the knockout. Halfway through the 6th and final round.
Bodish, absolutely one of the most popular young guys in the game here in Pittsburgh.
There's a right hand from Centeno.
This is actually a great experience for Bodish.
Tremendous. I mean, a much better fighter for this fight. It's a fight he was able to do pretty much what he wanted to do in here. Took some resistance back. Won pretty much every round, if not every round.
And even the fact that Centeno is, you know, pulling some chicanery once in a while in there, it's a good experience,
exactly.
You know? Let Bodish absorb that and react to it properly. And down the road, when someone starts the nonsense, he's not going to fall into any traps. And the good news for Tom Yankello is that Bodish didn't back down one bit from this guy. Right up and beyond the final bell.
So Danny Bodish goes 6 hard rounds tonight. Very impressive performance and entertaining to boot.
We had an inkling that this one could be exciting because of the style matchup, and sure enough, that's what we got.
Juan Centeno earned his keep tonight, for sure.
Strong effort by Centeno also in that, you know, he had to run off pounds last night, and boy, that takes a lot out of a fighter, you know. But he showed up to fight. He really clicked in round 3.
Rounds. go, after the 6 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for a decision. All 3 judges have scored about 60-54, awarding your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, Danny Bodish!
There you have it, Danny Bodish stays undefeated with a record of 4-0 now.